Matilda and the Sparehead is a delight. On the one hand, it's quite funny, but at the same time, I think it's got a really important message. This is actually a Lithuanian film with English subtitles. It was released in 2020. It's directed by Ignas Meilunas. I apologize if I've mispronounced that. And the animation is just so much fun. It's kind of rough, but in a way that's really charming, and I really enjoyed the characters' facial expressions. And Matilda is very intelligent, or at the very least, she has a really strong memory. She can memorize loads of facts. And her mother really wants her to lean into this. But unfortunately, her head is full. There is too much information in her head, so the solution is to buy her a spare head. And her mother does. She buys her a second head. And honestly, as a concept, I love it. I'd love to be able to have just a second brain for more space. I think that would be brilliant because my memory isn't great, and I feel like the more I cram in, the less I remember, and I'd love a second brain. Unfortunately, as this film points out, that's probably not a good idea. And the whole thing is about 12 or 13 minutes, so I don't want to give away too much. I don't want to go into too much spoiler detail, but basically, it doesn't go according to plan, and things get a little bit out of hand and rather entertaining as well. I really enjoyed it. Of course, the big message is that there are more important things than remembering absolutely everything. And Matilda even says this at one point. I didn't write it down, so it's not word for word, but she basically says, maybe you don't need to remember every tiny little thing. And I think that that's a really great message. Particularly, I feel like this is aimed at parents who are like Matilda's parents, who want their child to be geniuses. If their child shows even the slightest bit of intelligence, they will go above and beyond to make sure that's all the child focuses on, and the child doesn't get to be a child. But of course, there are people, perhaps somewhat like myself, who value knowledge so much that sometimes it gets a little bit overwhelming because we feel like we need to have all of the knowledge and all of the information, and it can get quite intense. And I feel like there are some really great messages in here, and it's funny. It's so funny. It's very well done. It's really engaging, and the animation style, as I said, although a little rough, is an absolute delight. So I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was really sweet, really fun, very well done, and definitely worth watching. Matilda and the Sparehead is a great idea, very entertaining, and with some really important messages as well.